G'day, welcome to Country Music World. I'm Mick.
And I'm Jay.
Today we're going to head down to South Australia and talk to one of the best female country singers I reckon Australia's ever produced.
She's just been in the studio with legendary guitarist Stewie French working on a brand new album. We're going to have a chat to her about that.
We are, and she's just come back from Mildura Country Music Festival, so she's probably going to be pretty tired after this one. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, share them around please, because it all helps. Sit down and relax, and let's get to know a little bit more about Sandra Humphries.
And tonight I'll wear the crown for the biggest fool around. Now I'm called the queen of all the fools there's ever been. I know that I was blind and left the perfect love behind. Oh, I'm the biggest fool around now.
Okay, Jay, so we're going to cut across to Sandra, who's home from Mildura. And have we got you online there, Sandra?
You do.
Oh,
See my beautiful face?
How you going, champion? Welcome to Country Music World.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Thanks for spending a bit of time. Now, I know you're tired because you've been in Mildura for the whole week. So how was Mildura for you?
It was great. It rained a lot, which is really unusual for Mildura, but crowds are great, my shows are great, I'm not going to complain. It's all good, sales were good, considering I don't have a new album yet, and yeah, it was good fun.
Best thing about Mildura, Jay, is you get to catch up with the big music family that we love so much. You just would have got to catch up with old friends that you don't see all the time. Yeah,
it is. For me, it's like going home once a year because I've been going for about 20 years. I think I missed one in the last 20 years. So it's nice to see that everyone else is getting older as well. But yeah, it's good. You catch up with the fans, you catch up with the other artists that, you know, that for me being stuck down here in South Oz, I only catch up with once or twice a year, you know, maybe Tamworth or Mildura or the odd festival here and there. But no, so it's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, nice. What got you into country music way back when you were a little whippersnapper? What was it? What was the thing that said, all right, I'm going to be a country singer?
Oh, that would be a long story, but I guess it was a home life that was relatable to the songs that I was listening to back when I was a kid, you know, Tammy Wynette and all that heartbreak and all that crap that goes on in families that, you know, in an ideal world shouldn't happen. So I think I got lost in those songs and sort of related them to myself or to my family, and music was a way for me to be able to go and hide in my bedroom with a guitar and just ignore what was going on in the real world. Yeah, pretty much that's what got me into it.
Do you find, I mean, you brought up Tammy Wynette there, and, you know, your influence, I mean, if anyone's ever seen Sandra perform, you know, we know that we're going to get a certain standard come out of this lady's vocals for a start, because she's one of the most phenomenal country singers I think this industry has ever had. But you're kind of a bit old school in a way. I mean, you're not your stereotypical country pop act or rock act. I mean, you bring a certain element of this is a traditional country flavour. We know we're going to get a good country song from you. Is that fair to summarise you, or are you a bit different to that, you think?
Yeah, no, look, I when I was in my 20s, I went through that, you know, Shania Twain was really big back then when I was in my 20s, and so I went through that, you know, I've got to have rips in my jeans with my butt hanging out and show everyone my belly button phase, and then I just went, you know what, I'm not going to try and be what I'm not. I love the traditional, I like to rock it up with the best of it, you know, but I love those traditional sounds, you know, 3 chords and the truth, that's all we need. Well, you know, throw a minor in here and there just to challenge the guitarist in the band, but, you know.
Oh, ouch. We know how to play minor chords.
Yeah, you learned the minor chords.
Oh, yeah, I have. I've played some gigs with her, so I had to learn the minor chords.
Just as well.
I did, you know. Now, 3 chords and the truth, that sounds very similar to someone like Stuart French says that a lot. And, you know, you happen to know Stewie. Is there, you know, have you had a little rendezvous with Stewie over the last couple of weeks that you want to talk about?
Yes, I have. Spent a bit of time with Stewie last week, yeah. And his gorgeous wife, Cam. I just want to throw that out there.
Yes. So tell us all about that.
Yes. We went up last week sometime, started recording a new album, which I'm so excited about. I said to Cam, why the hell didn't I do this sooner? You know, we had such a good time. He's so talented, and you know, he really cares. He really cares about the music that we're creating, and incredible experience. He's a top person, top producer, top musician. We all know that. You know, Stewie French is a legend, and someone that we've you know, that Henry and I personally for years and years have admired his guitar ability, obviously. But you know, after meeting the guy, you got to respect him as a person too. You know, he is what he is. There's no airs and graces there. He just loves music.
I think it's a really
good. It's exciting.
You know, out of all the places you and Henry, you know, your wonderful husband, could have went and recorded this project. You could have gone anywhere literally in the world nowadays, because, you know, we live in that freedom space where you can say, all right, look at this, I got, you know, the world's my oyster, I want to go there. When I found out that you picked Stewie, I thought it was the best fit out of, you know, and I mean, look, you know, I'll always promote Stewie, and we've talked Stewie many times over the years. He's an amazing guy and what he does. But when I found out he was going to be part of this album, you're going to record it there at his house, I was really excited about this. And I know for a fact that Stewie was too, prior to you guys arriving. And if you follow Stewie's Facebook, he wrote on his Facebook too that he's excited for the project that was going to start tomorrow, and it just happened to be your project. I spoke to Michelle Rose on the phone here a week or so ago, and I said, what are you doing, mate? What's going on? And he says, Mick, I'm heading down to Stewie's for recording Sandra Humphries' album. And so there's a lot of people that are really excited that you were doing this with Stewie, because it's the perfect fit. It's two people that know exactly what they want with their music, and I think, you know, you were just saying that he loves the music. It's nothing about anything other than music, and it's a special thing. So I'm really, really excited to hear this album, because I just know how good it's going to be. You know, and
I have really. I can't believe it's taken me this long, but you know, I think it's just a growing thing. Me personally, I've wanted to experience everything. You know, you go and do one thing, and then it's like, what's next? And I've been saying to Stewie off and on for the last 10 years, I'm going to get there and record an album, and truthfully, I was quitting 6 months ago. I was out of it. I was done. And then, you know, I don't know, found the spark again and said to Henry, I've just booked in with Stewie, I'm doing an album. And Henry's going, oh, God, here we go again. But I don't know what it is about the Aussie musos and my relationship with them over the years. But for me, personally, all I ever wanted to do was play on stage with Stewie French, Michelle Rose, Mick Lockhart, you know, all the guys that get what I do and have shown me a lot of respect over the years as an artist, and respected what I do. Because sometimes, you know, the traditional country, you know, a lot of people go, oh, you know, traditional country, you know, but when they come along and listen to it, they'll go, oh, that's not traditional country. Well, yeah, it is. It really is. And to work with musicians that respect it and get just as excited about it as I do, it's a dream come true. I feel like, you know, I've been working towards this point my whole career. You know, so, you know, where I'm at now is I'm comfortable in my own skin. I know who I am. I know what I am as an artist. So to collaborate with Stewie, you know, and have Cam involved, of course, and Michelle Rose and Brad Berg and Ian Lees, and then we had Rod McCormack in the studio, which was a huge surprise to me. And it's, you know what it's like, Mick, when that all comes together and you just, this is it. This is the time where I'm supposed to be here.
Oh, it's exciting. You know, I know that I'm just going to love everything about this album for so many different reasons. But tell me about it. Did you write the songs on this thing? Have you done co-writes? Have you sourced songs from it? Tell us about the music that's about to come out.
I've written. Excuse me. I'm sitting on my bed here, so I'm going to get more comfortable. I've written. There's 5 original tracks. I've done some covers. I've brought back some, old Conway Twitty songs, and I've done some Alison Moore again, who I love, and Sarah Evans, and more obscure covers, of course. Nothing that's been, you know, number one on the radio or anything. But the songs that get to me for whatever reason. My son has written the title track, which I'm really excited about.
He's going good.
So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bunch on me.
When have you got a...
The planned release is obviously in January. Hopefully I'll get it sooner, but I don't want to put too much pressure on Stewie because he's got his own career to worry about and things like that. But my plan is to release it in January.
Sure, great.
You know the big thing working with Stewie, I think Mick would be putting up with all his bad jokes, probably.
Terrible jokes.
Oh,
Please now, don't tell me you're a supporter of his jokes. Henry would like them, but surely you don't.
you have to laugh, they're so pathetic.
They're the worst jokes I've ever heard.
He's even got a t-shirt and he's bought him
no.
today.
They're terrible. I don't know.
They're that bad, he could make a living out.
There was one today that was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I don't know. I don't even want to know it. But it's terrible.
Look, let's put it this way. Thank God he's really good at guitar playing.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Terrible.
So Sandra, let's talk about career highlights. What are the moments that you put up on your mantelpiece and look back on that you're most proud of?
There've been so many. It'd have to be the Workers Club, Mildura. Mick Lockhart got up and jammed with us.
Oh, come on now.
Highlights, Sandra, not the low points. Highlights.
You know how many times I'm going to repeat this video over and over and over? You're going to get this rotation.
It's really hard to say highlights. Of course, there's been the awards, and they are really nice every now and again to get a pat on the back and say, hey, you're doing something right. And believe me, I've lost more than I've won. So every award I get, I appreciate. But to me, the highlights are behind the scenes. They're in the studios. They're when someone like Adam Harvey comes up and says, I love your album. It's in my car. It's on repeat. For me, the biggest highlight is the respect of my peers. These people that I admire. That's the ultimate for me, and I know it sounds corny, but it really is, It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing something right, all that rehearsal and well, not so much these days. Henry will tell you that I don't rehearse enough. But, I don't know, all that hard work, that effort, that caring in how am I singing this, how am I getting this song across? Am I holding that note long enough? If I do this, will it have more effect? All of that work that goes on with your vocal, that extra work that you put in to try and make it better. And when people recognise it, and usually it's your peers, so let's face it, they're the ones that listen for any mistake that's going to be there because that's just how we're built. That's the ultimate for me. Just the respect.
I'm actually so glad that you touched on the finer detail of delivering a note. How long did I hold that note for, to make my performance better? That is just the most perfect summary of how a singer, a performer, an artist should think about it. I mean, I know so many potentially fantastic singers that just walk up and sing a song. And there's no thought process going into it. And when I can, I hear someone for you, and I mean, that I've been a fan of your music for a long, long time, and the way that you deliver your show is more than anything. I go and watch you because you give me a performance, and I believe everything you're singing to me. You know what I mean? Even if you're
that's the idea, and that's why I pick songs that they mean something to me, whether it's happy, sad, a drinking song, whatever moves me, I have to be able to put across in my performance so that it moves other people in the same way that it moves me. If it's a nothing song, then I'm not going to sing it. If it doesn't have any substance to it, then I'm not, I'm not interested. But, so see, you get it.
I like that. Look, and I know what you said there before too, it is your peers and the fellow artists and fellow musicians around that really notice that sort of stuff, but in not wanting to sell the Fanshawe, I honestly believe that they 100% get it too, because, we'll come up to you at the end of the show and we'll say, man, the way you sang that or the way you rolled off that note, that's the finer details. But when you're sitting on stage and you're singing, you're seeing the people real time be affected by the emotion you're given. So take nothing away from the fans.
Oh,
They know exactly what you're doing.
Album number 6 because of the fans.
Exactly.
Because they are getting it. At my last album launch, I talked a lot about depression and all of the things that have affected me over my life, and to have so many people come up to me and thank me for talking about depression and telling me about their stories, incredible. So to connect with an audience, beyond your peers in the respect of, of your musical ability, getting it across to the people out there, someone will come up after a show and say, which is your best album? And I'll go, oh, look, I don't know. I think they've all got their really strong points. And they'll go, oh, bugger, I'll just buy the lot. How many times that's happened to me, That's incredible because, $125 or $150 is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
I think about spending that kind of money. So, there's your reward right there, isn't it?
I think so. It is, and it's as humbling as that is, and I love that you are as humble as that, because at the end of the day, we'll ask the question, what makes you successful? What does this? When do you say you're at the top of your game? There's so many different colourful ways you can answer that question, but at the end of the day, you answered it right there. That's success right there.
Mm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if that wasn't successful.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's different, isn't it? As musicians, we can see the technicalities that you're doing, but the audience, I like the audience myself because they capture the feeling and the emotion of what you're doing.
Yeah.
More so than the technical ability.
And they give it right back to you, don't they? You know if you're connecting because you're feeding off the audience.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. That's really powerful when it happens,
Huge, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
and it's the thing that I'd hate to say it, but a lot of the younger musicians are missing. But they'll get there.
It's hard to beat.
Absolutely.
It's hard to beat time on a stage, and a lot of these artists that we're talking to that have been around the game for 20 years and even longer, now you cannot beat experience. And they've got to go through the ups and downs to be able to sit back now, step back away from all the game of the business, and go, you know what? I have to connect with myself with these lyrics, and then we'll see what happens. And it's pretty rare the young one comes along straight out of school and just knows how to do that. It's earned that. You've got to go out and do the gigs, and you've got to have the highs and the lows, and you've got to have no one in your crowd, and you've got to have a crowd of 1,000 people that just don't bounce in front of you.
Yeah.
So you've got to have all those. That's really hard to get without experience. So
it is,
but it is an interesting thing, isn't it? With all these interviews we're doing, it's a very, very similar thing come back. So I hope a lot of the young ones that are watching this thing really work out that there's a formula happening here, and to trust it earlier in the piece than we did, because I know myself, I learnt more bad lessons than good ones. I held on to the good ones now, which is why you're talking to me right now. But there's, what I'm saying. That's
I do.
Some people can bypass this stuff if they just sit back and believe that these people that have had 2-3 decade careers actually are in this reason. They're there for a reason 2 or 3 decades later.
Yeah, that's in the absolutely. And my absolute advice would be to any young singer is to say the fans aren't interested in who you want to be, they're interested in who you are right now at this moment in time. So if you can't give them some honesty and let them into your little world, then you will never connect.
Do you think
that's how I feel about it.
You've been around the business a while. Do you think that it's a different business now than it was 20 years ago? Or do you think it's just a different, you know what I'm saying? The game is very similar. Do you think the evolution of the music now has changed the platform and it's more difficult with social pressures and all this other stuff that we never had to do? We just went up onto a stage, but now you can go up onto a stage now and live stream it.
Yeah, well, there's that. But isn't that an advantage that we didn't have 20 years ago? We're sitting here connecting with God knows how many thousand people. That would never have happened 20 years ago. So in that aspect, I think the social side of stuff is a great tool so long as you use it correctly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a very sharp double-edged sword.
Well, I think it is. 20 years ago, I think there was a lot more gigs. Absolutely, but then you've got pokies in venues. There's so many things that have affected the way that music is. But at the end of the day, if people want to go listen to music, they'll go listen to it. If you make it worth their while, they'll get off their bums and they'll go out and watch it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think.
I think you're right.
Some words of wisdom there. So, Sandra, while we're talking about advice, have you got any other words of wisdom for upcomers into the industry?
Oh, Lordy love. There's so much I've learned over the years. Definitely take a look around you and learn. Learn from what's around you. Don't just think that you know it all. I went through a stage, as all young people do, when I was 16 and everyone told me how bloody wonderful I was and I believed every word they said, until my now husband got hold of me and said, pull your head out of your butt and just think about it, because A, you're playing the wrong frigging chords, and B, you're not that good. There's for everything that you do, there's someone out there that's 10 times better. So, always try to be better. You're never, ever, ever going to reach that point where you can say, I'm the best I'll ever be. You might be at a place that you're happy to be, but you'll never be the best that you'll ever be. Because if you stop learning, you might as well give away the game, because you're wasting your own time and everybody else's time. Respect your musicians. Yes. Respect your band that are backing you up. If the musos are making mistakes behind you, have a look at how you're contributing to that. Are you leading the band, or are you just letting them play for you? Do you know what you're doing so they know what they're doing? All of those sort of things come into play. Don't just chuck a chart up on the stage and expect the band just to play it and play it well, because 9 times out of 10 your chart's bloody wrong. You can't capo a bass, and you need to lead your band so that they perform the best for you, and you need to respect what they're doing so that they want to perform the best for you, so you have a great show. Always respect the musicians. And I've seen a lot of disrespect. I've seen a lot of artists walk away and say the band sucked up my song. You know what? Toughen up and find out a way, make it not happen again, and don't blame the band. You're the artist. They're there to back you and support you, but I tell you what, you pee them off, chances are you won't have a great band to support you very long.
Oh, I love that. That's wise words right there.
That's gold, mate.
That's absolutely. A few things that I learned: never annoy your band, and never annoy the sound guy. Leave the sound guy alone. Yeah, he can make you sound like Justin Bieber without you realising it. Don't you worry about that. Hey, going back, I'm just going to jump back here a question, because going back to a highlight, because and it wouldn't be for any other reason, and we're just talking around other ways. But in Tamworth this year, just gone. I went into the West Tamworth Leagues Club, and on this particular night, I grabbed myself a drink and I pulled up on a pew, and my little mate Sandra walked over and we had a bit of a yak, and we were there to watch the Al Tompkins show, and the amazing Red Volkart was there, and we just happened to see this beautiful creature get up on stage and sing with one of the guys that played Merle Haggard.
Yeah, mate, incredible, isn't it?
So what was it like? So tell me, what was it like when you got up and you got to sing your songs with Red Volkart? Now, I mean, that guy is legendary right there.
It's seriously incredible, how things come to be. What the hell is he doing in the stage in Australia, and how lucky are we, as musicians and artists, to be able to even step on stage, and then you start thinking about what he's done and where he's been and what he's seen, and here you are, it can be pretty overwhelming at times.
It's funny, mate, because, I got to funny, I got a big adrenaline rush to see you walk up because I knew you were having pink kittens prior to going up with Red. And, you know, and then you got to get up there and sing. And it was funny because I actually took my eyes off you for a bit and put them on to Red when you first started singing. And I know that Brad playing drums and Al playing bass, Michelle Rose playing steel. Hot band, like a seriously good band.
Tough gig.
Tough gig, you know. And then all of a sudden I look over at Red and I could see Red with that Cheshire cat smile sitting there watching you sing. And I'm not sort of patting you on the bum here, giving you that whole, oh my God, you're amazing. But I tell you, I've seen him play a lot of times with a lot of different people, and he looked at you differently, and it was because of the way you sang your song. And it meant something to him. And that was a cool thing for me to see because I'm watching Red as he's one of my guitar playing heroes. And I saw the cogs turning around in his head, sitting there going, wow, this girl's good.
And that's cool. And once again, that comes back to your connection with the music, doesn't it? You know, he's a pioneer of what I love. You know, like you say, he's played with Hay and he's played with all the best artists and people that I've admired. And he obviously, hopefully, connected, okay, this girl has listened and learned from these people that he respects. And you know, it comes down to that connection to the music and the respect for, okay, you're showing this music the respect that it deserves, because it does. You know, people go on about these tribute shows going around, and you know, we all need to make money when we go on the road. But the reason I sing Tammy Wynette songs is because I bloody always have and I always will. You know, it's not about anything other than a respect for incredible music. You know, Buck Owens and Mel Haggard, and there's so many artists out there. And not just American artists, Australian artists. They made way for me. You know, they taught me so much, and so I'll always respect that, and I'll never apologise for singing covers because they're great songs. That's why we're singing them.
So Sandra, if people want to follow your journey a bit more, how can they follow you? The website, social media?
Well, I've got a Facebook music page. I tend to have more on my private page than my music page, so they can go and like my music page or add me as a friend. I think I'm getting close to the limit on that though. I've got a website, sandra.com.au. Every now and again we get around to updating it. We might do it for the new album. I don't do Twitter. I do have a Twitter account, but you know, I'm 43 now, and all that technology's just does my head in.
I don't get Twitter.
Facebook's probably the best.
Yeah, we don't get Twitter. Twitter's weird. I put a tweet up yesterday that says #Twitter sucks. And
I don't even know how to put a post up.
No, I worked it out. I haven't had any retweets, so I don't think the Twitter fans actually like that post. But
they probably thought you were a tweet mate.
I know. Hey, Sandra, you know what? Now you're heading into Tamworth. You've got some shows ready for Tamworth 2017. What's going on for you there?
All booked up. Well, once again, I'm getting to do our Tonky Tonks nights a couple of times. I heard a little rumour that Red's back in town. So, yeah, doing those. I've got my shows at the South Tamworth Bolo, which is really exciting. I love that. Get a huge crowd over there. I've got 5 shows there. Really looking forward to an acoustic gig with Anthony Taylor and Dan Murphy, and there's another one. Oh, Darren Carr. I haven't forget Darren. So that'll be a crack up. I'll just sit there and laugh all night and look gorgeous, and they can sing and make jokes. And and I'm actually joining up with Lee Forster and Dave Pryor for a gig. We're going to do Buck, Merle and Tammy show.
Nice.
So that should be fun.
So you're doing the Merle part?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Well, look, mate, we're going to make sure all your links to your non-current website, which will be current soon.
It will.
Social pressure, you're going to have to do it now. We're going to make sure. We're going to make sure all your links are below, and I highly recommend, encourage people to follow you and support your music. If you want to hear good country music being sung good way, just go and see this lady. Vocal chops. You'll never hear me talk too highly of this lady here. She's a wonderful person. I love everything about Henry. Funniest guy on the planet. Great guitar picker. Don't annoy him because he calls a spade a spade. I love that about Henry. I just love these two humans right here, But definitely go out of your way. If Sandra Humphries is in a 3 or 4 or 500 kilometre radius. You'll have a musical moment if you go and see these guys. So we recommend you to go and watch this lady here. Look out for this new album. This thing's going to be great.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Cannot wait for this, Sandra Humphries. It has been a pleasure, and on behalf of Jay and myself and everyone here at the Country Music World, we wish you all the best in your future.
Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Sandra.
Did you like that interview and want to see some more just like it? Then check them out right there.
We've got artist interviews. We check out the festivals that are happening in your area.
We'll have a look at the country music birthdays, and then we'll dive back into the history of Australian country music.
We've got the CMW Country Artist of the Week chart as voted by you. And we also have heaps of weekly prize giveaways.
So give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because together we can make a difference in the country music world.